Hello, and welcome back to another tapping session. My name is Amy C. Willis. I am a sobriety and mindset coach, a meditation teacher, and importantly for today's session, a certified EFT practitioner. So today I wanted to offer a tapping session to you on giving yourself grace. So particularly now in this moment of time during the global pandemic, we all have a lot on our plates, especially women and especially moms. And it can all feel like a bit much, combining the expectations we have of ourselves as well as expectations from external sources. It can feel like a lot. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a ton of messaging out there around how we really need to use this time to learn a new skill, start our book, cook all new recipes, etc., etc. And if that feels inspiring to you and you feel like you want to move in that direction, amazing. Do it and ride the wave, and I'm cheering you on. And if that kind of messaging on top of everything else just feels like pressure and just another thing you're not going to get to, then I invite you to join me for this tapping session to really access how we're feeling about all of this and give ourselves a little bit of grace here. It is a practice that is sometimes easier said than done, but I really encourage you to drop in, feel how you're feeling about all of this, because whether we want to acknowledge it or not, often those feelings are there. And so I really invite you to feel them and tune into them, and really get into this tapping session and get to a place where it feels like you can just let yourself off the hook a little bit. So if you're new to tapping, or if you have no idea what I'm even talking about, I invite you to go back a couple of videos. There is a video you'll find called What the Heck is EFT? And it is a great overview about EFT, how it works, what it is, the different tapping points, etc. So that's a great starting point for you. So basically how this is going to work is I'm going to tap on the different points on our bodies while I'm saying things. I invite you to tap along and repeat after me. If I'm saying anything that doesn't feel accurate for you or it really doesn't resonate, but something else does, I invite you to substitute that something else in as you're repeating after me. And before we tap, I really want you to tune into how you're feeling right now. So if you are feeling like really amped up, overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, feeling like you have so much on your shoulders and you just don't know what to do about it, we'll say that's like a 10 on the scale. Whereas conversely, the opposite end, a 1 on the scale, is feeling calm, feeling at ease with things, not feeling overwhelmed. So ideally, at the starting point, or not ideally, but realistically, your number is probably going to be closer to 10. And ideally, as we tap and start to release and address some of these feelings, your number will start to move down the scale. So we're going to do 2 rounds of tapping. The first round is going to be to really acknowledge the feelings of high expectations, feeling like you have a lot on your plate, feeling overwhelmed. Then we'll pause, and then the second round we'll get into the affirmative, where we give ourselves grace and we give ourselves a little bit of understanding. So the points we're going to use: top of the head, inner eyebrow, outer eye, under nose, under lip, collarbone area. So find your collarbone about an inch out and out diagonally. That's where you want to be tapping, and under the arm or around the brow line. So check in with yourself, figure out where you're at on that scale, and hang on to that number, because we're going to notice as it changes, and hopefully it does. So whenever you're ready, we'll start in the inner eyebrow. Even though I've been very hard on myself, I love and accept myself completely. I am so hard on myself. I often pile on the expectations. I hold myself to such high standards in every area of my life. everything seems to fall on my shoulders. I expect myself to be near perfect at everything I do. I expect myself to always be on. I hold myself to higher standards than I would ever hold anyone else to. I expect so much of myself. And when I don't meet those expectations, I feel like a failure. Like I've failed myself and like I failed others. On top of my own expectations, it feels like others expect a lot from me too. It seems like regardless of what's happening around me, the expectations are still so damn high. And when I don't meet them, I feel like a loser. Like a bad mom, a bad partner, a bad friend, a bad daughter, a bad neighbor, a bad entrepreneur. I suck at everything. I'm juggling so many balls. And when they fall, I fall. And it feels terrible. There's always so much on my plate. And when something falls off, I can't help but take it personally. As a personal failure. There's never enough time to get it all done. And the list is never ending. I can't help but think that when something goes wrong or doesn't get done, it's because of me. And it's my fault. I suck. So we're just gonna pause here. Feel free to close your eyes. Take a few cleansing inhales and exhales and just notice what's happening in your body. Notice any sensations that you're experiencing. Try not to judge it. There's no good or bad here. It's just an experience. So just notice it as it is without putting anything on it. So when you're ready, let's open our eyes. Check in on that scale. See if anything's shifted for you. Sometimes for the first round, when we are really addressing the feelings that we've been holding on to in a lot of cases, it riles stuff up in us so our number doesn't shift. And that's normal. So if it hasn't shifted, don't worry about it. Just notice where you're at. And now we're gonna get, into the affirmative. So starting again on the inner eyebrow, I acknowledge that I've been really hard on myself lately. I recognize that I've been holding myself to unreasonable standards. I know that the expectations I've set for myself are too much. I recognize that I'm in a really challenging situation right now. And with that, different standards need to be applied. So I am open to shifting this experience. I am ready to create a new experience for myself. I honor that I am doing the best that I can right now. And with that, I am willing to give myself grace. Instead of thinking about all the things that I can't control, I will instead focus on what I can control. I will focus on the actual priorities and take care of the rest later. I am doing the best I can with what I have. And I honor that, truly. I will practice giving myself grace by not beating myself up over to-do lists, by not berating myself when things don't get done, by not giving myself a hard time for not doing everything the way it's supposed to be done. Instead of focusing on what didn't get done, I will celebrate what did. I will celebrate how well I juggle the many demands of my life. At the end of the day, if a couple of things fell off my plate, I know that it's not a big deal. I will give myself grace because I deserve grace. I will speak to myself the way I would speak to my best friend. When I notice negative self-talk creeping in, I will pause and say out loud, I am doing the best I can. I will adjust my goals and expectations to reflect my current situation and capacity. Rather than hold myself to expectations of a previous version of myself, I will prioritize what is actually important in the moment and try to let the rest go. I will reach out and ask for support as needed. I will go easy on myself because being hard on myself doesn't serve me. I am doing the best that I can. 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 So let's pause there. Again, checking in. Feel free to close your eyes, breathing deeply, and just noticing how you feel energetically, noticing if you've experienced any shifts in your energy, in your feelings around your expectations, around being hard on yourself, anything that feels like a release, perhaps. Any sensations that are happening, just notice. So again, ideally, as we tap through this and as we acknowledge and release and acknowledge and release and put voice to the things that we're feeling and experiencing, the number on your scale, obviously we want to bring you out of a place of feeling super overwhelmed and super pressured and putting a lot of stress on yourself and on the situation. So we want that number to go down. So I would encourage you to continue to tap, doing both rounds if you wish, until you get to a 2 or a 1. So keep with it. Sometimes it takes a few rounds, and that's okay. That is totally okay. So thank you for tuning in today. And importantly, thank you for taking a second to do something for yourself, for your well-being, for your self-care. I hope that it's helpful for you. I hope that it feels good. Feel free to leave your experiences or any other thoughts on this in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And feel free to pass this on to anybody you think who would benefit from it. If there's anything else you'd like to see in terms of tapping, just let me know. I'm happy to create something for you that feels beneficial. Stay tuned for more content, and please feel free to share away if this feels good. So take care of yourself and stay well, and I will see you next time.